will start with the next stage of the painting, and in this case it will be the metallic pieces over the belt of our character. We will take some gray tones to make some shines and the darker tones of our metal. For this case we are gonna use the help of the polygroups that we have been working for painting on these areas we have here. Simply, we start to hide what we don't need. Well, I believe nothing left. Let's increase the intensity and let's start filling the objects with a fierce gray tone. Let's look for a darker tone and we will start to do the shadows as such. Let's lower the RGB and start to painting these groups. Up here, down here, on all of the side areas. Let's mask, make appear all the piece, invert the mask, hide, and now we can paint the shadows or the occlusions of the metal over our leather piece. We are going to do this to all of the pieces. We will paint the occlusions. We will enhance a little the shadows in this edge. This is what we are going to do to each of the pieces. We will start by painting the occlusions of a darker tone. Here, up here. Well, it can be a bigger brush, so we can work quickly. In case it is difficult to paint some of these areas, we simply need to hide the leather belt and we could paint much simpler. In this case I keep it visible because it gives me an idea of up to where I should paint. Let's continue with this last one. Up here. And we continue to paint these occlusions. Okay, a little more over here. Let's start to make some darker edge. The occlusion we painted in a darker color, but now the shadows we will paint it a little lighter than the occlusion as such. Over here, well, let's paint this edge we have here. Over here. Okay, we are getting a more shaded piece. Let's paint some shadows over the surface of our metal. In this case we will make a not polished metal, some dirty, and for that we will do some strokes to give it a little more of dirt. here in this edge, here at the center, a little more. And now yes, with the lighter color, we will start to make some shines. It couldn't be the pure white, because we will need different lighter tones for say something. With a small brush, we will start to paint these edges with fast and long lines. So we'll make a kind of shines or some material wear. And that especially in the edges. It should be very small strokes, and in this case, it shouldn't look so blurred because they are a little more intense, stronger. Here we can add some more in this edge. In this case, the intensity will vary too, because the range of light colors and dark colors will give us the feeling of the beam of light. Here we are only adding the first layer of lights, so to speak. Well, here a little in these tips. And here, in the group. A little more shines. And we can change them to a lighter tone. And we continue doing these markings on the edges. A little more over here. And start to refine. Most of all, these new shines, we are doing them in the tips. That's where the wear is greater. Let's add some lines over here. Well, we can lower a little the intensity. Well, and with the flat material, we can see that we have a better result. The idea here is that using what I have just teach you, you paint the other metallic pieces that are over the leather suit of our character. When you finish, we will then continue with the character armor.